Hey, Shalom, brothers. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Barakathon. This is our Desire One coming at you with a short through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is Romans 8 and 24. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. What is the hope? It's hope that is seen is not hope, rather, Slaki. What is the hope? The kingdom of heaven. The rulership that we're going to have with Yahweh Shai over the whole planet Earth. Having slaves, America going down by way of thermonuclear destruction, everything that was promised in this Bible. That's what we're hoping for. And it's not seen. So if we could see it, that wouldn't be hope, now would it? Right? It says, for we are saved by hope. And that hope goes with faith. That's how we're saved. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why does yet hope for? Why doth he yet hope for? Right, if you see it, how are you going to hope for it? And that all goes back to what? Faith. I'm going to get Hebrews 11 and 1 to follow that. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. There was the word hope, which goes back to faith. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And how is it evidence? Because it's promised to us through this word, the words of Yahweh Shai, which is in this Bible. And we believe in it and trust in it. All right? It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. What we hope for, salvation and total rulership under Yahweh Shai. All right? The evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Right. And then before us, the prophets, all right, which the prophets are back now, and we're still hoping through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, for we are saved by hope, going back to Romans, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why does he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Because we don't see the kingdom of heaven. We don't see the land of milk and honey, so to speak. But we're going to see it because we know it's going to come through the faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? Now with that, that was a short, I'm going to say Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the rest of you brothers doing the work. I'm going to say Shalom.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is what Yahweh Shai told Thomas. Because Thomas was under the impression that he didn't believe, even though Yahweh Shai told the disciples that he had to suffer the things he suffered and he was going to come back and be resurrected. Thomas didn't believe it. And Yahweh Shai said to them, you know, I know that there's some of you that don't believe. You know, so when Thomas spoke to the Lord, pretty much, you know, or actually he spoke to the 11 disciples, or actually the 10 disciples back then, and they told him that Yahweh Shai had been resurrected, and Yahweh Shai, he didn't believe. He said, look, unless I put my fingers in his print and in his side, I'm not going to believe that it's the Lord. So when the Yahweh Shai came to him, you know, and he put the fingers in his print, meaning the prints in his hand, and in his side, he said, my Lord and my power. He said, you know, because you see me, you believe? He said, blessed are they which have not seen, yet believe. Because in these times right now that we're living in, the truth that we learned, that we know, is more based off of faith than it is based off of actual seeing. Because when you go back into the history, you know, all the different prophets and disciples and men of the Lord, going back to Abraham, going back to Noah, going back to Isaac, going back to Jacob, you know, they all saw angels. they all saw chariots. They understood the spiritual aspect and the spiritual being of the same because they actually physically saw it back then. But in these times now, as time progressed, the knowledge was made more abundant and more understandable, right? But the visions and the certain things started being chopped down more and more. So now, when going back 2,000 years ago, when Yahweh Shai was here and the apostles and the disciples and them were here, they actually saw angels coming to them and reassuring them that the kingdom was coming. Why? Because back then it wasn't time. But now in these times, what Yahweh Shai said to Thomas rings true, because what Yahweh Shai said to Thomas, he said, "Blessed are they that have not seen and yet believe." Because we're in a time now that if you don't believe because you can't see it, then you can't achieve it. You know, it's a little joke, but it's true. You know, if you don't see it, you don't believe it, and that's the problem with the average person out here, because they want proof. They want something that they can tangibly see. That's why Yahweh said, "A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given them but the sign of the prophet Jonah." You know, and that was a sign, and that sign sealed the fact that Yahweh Shai is the Son of the Lord. And prior to the Lord Yahweh Shai going into the grave, so to speak, there was an actual earthquake and an eclipse and things that were happening at that time that proved that he's the Son of the Lord. So much that one of the centurions, which was a Jake, said, "Truly, this is the Son of the Lord." You know? So in these times that we live in now, we don't have those signs that we had back then. But we still have the Word. And the Word, through faith, is what's going to seal us unto the end. Matter of fact, I got the book of James, chapter 1, and verse 21. It says, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul." So now, this flesh that we have is not leaving here. The only thing that's leaving here is our spirit and our soul. But at the same time, the only purpose that this flesh serves is when we first being brought up out of here into the chariots, our enemies are going to behold this flesh just to know, oh wow, those are the apostles, those are the elders, those are the men that were teaching this word, that was fighting for this word. And the people that's going to see it, they're going, damn, we thought that they was nothing. We thought that they wasn't going to make it out of here. We thought that they were crazy. And they're going up into the heavens being delivered out of here. But at the end of the day, it's not the flesh that's going to be saved, because this flesh that we have is going to be taken off, and our spirit and our soul is going to go up, and then we're going to be changed into those spiritual bodies, you know. And the reason why it's going to be changed to them spiritual bodies, because we as a people, we can't go outside of this atmosphere without a change coming through. And the Lord is going to make that change happen, because the bodies in the flesh that we're in right now cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. Because these bodies are corrupt. We've done all kind of fucked up shit in these bodies. But you know what? The spirit and the soul that's in us is unblameable. That's why King David said, "Blessed is the man upon whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit is no guile." So that spirit that there's no guile in is the very thing that's going to go out of here and be saved and be delivered. That's why the Apostle Paul even said that your whole spirit and soul shall be preserved until the end. You know? So it says back in James 1:21, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul." So this word right here that you're receiving, that we're teaching you, this is what's going to save your soul. So the scriptures say, receive it with meekness. Don't be like these other guys. They come into this thing, they learn a few scriptures, and all of a sudden they're deeper than deep, and they don't have to listen no more to the men that taught them. You know? And you know, if the man that taught you is going off, yeah, by all means, Like I give you examples, Lahab, Yeshaya, Kazak, and others. You know, of course you don't listen to no madness like that, the virgin birth bullshit, hell. When you die, the first thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna go into the spirit world and Satan is gonna pop you in your ass. You know, that's madness. Those are fables. But now the men that are teaching you the right way, you're supposed to listen. Because this, what you're being taught, is something that you didn't even know about. We didn't know about when we first learned about the truth. But then the Lord opened up our minds and our spirit to understand. And that's where the word faith comes in. And the being delivered by faith is not something that you can tangibly see, especially in these times. Because we're not living in, even though we have greater understanding and greater ability to break down the scriptures than the apostles and the disciples and the prophets did in the past, we don't have the signs that they had back then. We don't have the physical things that they saw back then. They actually had angels kicking them on the side, pulling them by the hair, you know, and they knew they were angels eventually. You know, we don't have that right now. Why? Because right now it's coming down to the point of faith. Do you believe in this thing or not? And that's what's going to deliver you in this time. Your belief and your faith in the truth. You know? So that's why you have to receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul.
But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
And that's the point. We have to wait for it. You know, and a part of the waiting is not easy. You know, you have, when the Bible speaks about bitterness, it's talking about the afflictions you're going to go through. Now, you know, I know the dude's a faggot, but I like to quote this, and it's just something new that I started quoting. You know, LL Cool J, I know he's a faggot, but he said, there's lyrics that he said, gold melts down, but it don't fear flames. Mm-hmm. And in order for gold to melt down, it has to go through flames. Any type of metal, in order for it to be made precious, it has to be melted down first to get to that precious state, to separate the bad from it. And that's what's going on right now, which I read, and this has always been one of my favorite scriptures. I love the scripture to this day. This is Isaiah 48 and 10. It says, "Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction." And that's a part of this truth that not many men are willing to accept or understand or grasp to. That you're going to suffer afflictions, you're going to suffer bitterness in this truth. And the only ones that's really going to make it to the end are the ones that endure. What do you mean? What do you think it means by the word endure? It means to be made hard. So if you have to endure, if you're going to have to be made hard, why do you have to be made hard? What's the ingredient that's going to make you hard? That's the suffering. So if you have to endure something, it means something hard is coming. So what is that hardness that's coming? The afflictions. And the afflictions come in many different ways. It could come physically through your body, through infirmities. It could come through your family members, your immediate family, like your moms, your pops, you know, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, whatever. It could come through your actual children, your woman. It could come through your job, your co-workers. You know, it could come through many other different ways. You know, your car breaking down. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can receive bitterness. You know, and that's part of this truth, is that bitterness. You know, that's why, you know, in order for you to get to the kingdom, you have to endure that bitterness. You have to endure that hardness. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to read that again in Romans 8. Or if you could read it again. Romans 8, the last verse you just read.
Romans 8 and 25. "But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it."
Right, and that's part of it, because we don't physically see things, but we actually going through certain things that make the average person, especially here in America, the land of the sit back and lazy and fat glutton motherfuckers, and just say fuck it make you, not want to have to deal with the truth. Not want to make you deal with the flames of truth and the hardship of the truth. So in order for you to go through certain things, in order for you to deal with and receive the kingdom that's coming, you're going to have to deal with certain things. And that's the harsh truth and the reality of the truth, is that you have to be able to be willing and understand that there's hardship coming down the road, there's bitterness coming down the road. The scriptures say that when wisdom first enters you, she'll put you through all kind of shit. To see if she'll be on you as a mighty trial, to see if she can trust your soul enough to enter into your soul. So wisdom proves you first. Because that wisdom that you're being proven with, that knowledge that you're being proven with, that understanding that you're being proven with, is what's going to save your soul. It's going to save your spirit out of here. So you have to prepare your mind, and we here at Great Millstone, beginning with the apostles, elders on down, we give you that information according to the scriptures so that you can prepare your mind for what's coming. And there's many aspects to the truth. And this is part of the harsh reality of the truth, is you're going to be tried, you're going to go through the fire, you're going to catch hell, you're going to go through the bitterness. But if you go through all of that, because this is a war, at the end of it, you're going to be delivered, you're going to be saved, and your ticket is going to be short. And your ticket onto the chariots is going to be short. So keep fighting, keep doing what you got to do. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which chose us out of this world to give us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we have that we didn't have in the past. So with that, I say Shalom.
All right, Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to all you Hakim out there that's laboring in truth and sincerity. This is a quick little show on Romans the 8th chapter, verse 24. All right, and it goes, "For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for?" So at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, that hope. All right, that hope that we have in Yahushua. We just did a show called "Prisoners of Hope." And that's heaven. We did a show because that's all we have is that hope, man. The hope of Yahushua coming delivering us, hoping that we're part of the elect, right? That's why it says in Peter's, give diligence to make thy calling and election sure, because why? At the end of the day, we're hoping that the Lord has mercy on us. That's what it's all about. A matter of fact, I'd like to go to one precept real quick and I'm gonna come right back. I know we don't have much time on the battery, but I'm just gonna go into this in the book of Hebrews 11. Verse 1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen." So hope and faith go together hand in hand, man. All right? Your faith is the evidence of things hoped for. So what are we hoping for? We're hoping for what? A righteous society, right? Which involves Esau not being in power, him being beneath us like he's supposed to be. Which involves what? No faggots, no homos, no lesbians, no transsexuals, no men acting like women, no women acting like men, no women acting out of order, right? That's what we're looking for. We're open for a kingdom in a world and rulership of righteousness, where you don't have to worry about women being hoes, fucking every nigga on the block, all right? Having every disease and some that ain't even written yet. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to worry about that in the kingdom of heaven, man. We're seeking for that city, man. All right, which is the kingdom of heaven, where righteousness dwells. So that's our hope. We're looking for a kingdom of righteousness at the end of the day. So that's where our faith and that's where our hope is. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report." Okay, so that's what our forefathers, they obtained a good report with the Most High by having hope in His Word, faith and hope in His Word. So again, I'm going to go back to the book of Romans. All right, real quick. Romans
8:24.
The 8th chapter, verse 24. It says, for we are saved by hope. So that's what we're saved by. Not that because you have people that walk around saying that they're saved. You know, oh, I'm saved. Technically, we're not. You're not saved because you could still die. You could get shot. You could get hit by a bus, a car, airplane. You could drop dead of pneumonia. You could die of cancer, AIDS, HIV, and plenty of other ways you could die. So we're not saved yet. The only thing we're saved in is the hope, meaning the belief. Okay, it goes into the belief. A lot of people wonder why we do what we do. Well, it's a belief. It's not tangible, man. It's not tangible. So it says we are saved by hope. The hope that is seen is not hope. Meaning if you have what you're hoping for, like it's such a, like I said, being in the kingdom of righteous women, right? That's a hell of a fucking thing right there. That's a doozy. Compared to now, what you see now is the total opposite. Number of whores and sluts we see. Let's keep it real, right? Right? So those are the things, I'm gonna read it again. It says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. So essentially, if you actually see these things, if you have riches, you got, you living in mansions and you got property, you got helicopters, you can jet set across the world, you got herds of women that, bow at your every command or whatever the case is, you ain't got nothing to hope for, man. That's like these devils. That's why they don't believe that they're going nowhere. All right? Some of you niggas that got a little bit of crumbs, you think that you're in your kingdom. So it says, hope that is seen is not hope, for what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? So if you see something that's tangible, hope is something that's intangible, meaning you can't touch hope. Okay, the things that we hope for are things that can't be touched, seen, or even heard of technically in this day and age or in this life that we live in, man. We talking about a world where your children are righteous, man. Right now you got little so-called Negro and Latino kids growing up being the most crookedest thing on this earth, man. Bunch of damn demons, man. Faggots, homos, kidding, in kindergarten sucking dick, being homos, faggots. That's what you see. But we looking for something that is not seen, such as the kingdom of heaven, where righteousness dwells. And keep saying that. It says, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. And that's the key thing, is patience, man. Which is what? Suffering. You gotta suffer the bullshit that you see from these wicked ass niggas, these wicked ass kids, these wicked jakes, these wicked ass, your woman, these Eve, the Latin women. You gotta suffer that, man. But with patience, we're waiting, because we know that what? The better day is coming, which is gonna be the kingdom of heaven. That's for the elect of Israel. For those who didn't faint. For those that was prisoners of Yahweh Shai, that took this word serious, man. All right? But anyway, there's tons of scriptures that go more into the thing about hope. But that's where our hope relies in these scriptures, man. All right? Your hope shouldn't rely in this world. Your hope should rely in what? The spiritualness of the kingdom of heaven of this word. So now this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4. It says, verse 11, pardon me. It says, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahweh Shai's sake. So, in other words, in this day and age, we're not, some brothers will be put to death, some brothers haven't been put to death. Like you heard us speak about Abba Bivens and other men that died as such, right? But in the past, we were all put to death, all right? And then we're put to death on another level as far as like the defamation. Okay, so it says, for we which live are always delivered into death for Yahweh Shai's sake, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. And that's what you're seeing happen now. Mortal meaning these bodies we're in now, they're able to die. Okay? Yahweh Shai is being manifest in us because we're coming to you, bringing out the gospel of Yahweh Shai, waking you brothers up, letting you know that, look, man, we're going to be changed, man. We're not going to always have these contaminated bodies that we got, these polluted, filthy bodies. That's why Apostle Paul said, oh wretched man that I am. It says, so then death worketh in us, but life in you. Because when we as we teach in this word, man, this thing wears the body out, man. All right? I mean, we go because it's through the spirit, we don't even think about it, but, hey, man, this is work, man. Like when you at camp, you know what I'm saying? At the camp, you feel like you was doing an 8-hour job, man, 8-hour shift. Like, damn, why am I tired? Because you know why? This is truly a work, man.
Labor.
It's a labor, but it's a labor of love. Because this is where our hope lies. And this is where you brothers, this is where your hope should lie at the end of the day. You know? You should never figure like, oh, I'm to the point I don't gotta do no more. Man, you can't do enough, man. Right? You can't do enough, man. It says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. So that's why you keep seeing us doing shows and going, because we believe. And that's what it is, and it's an untangible thing. A lot of people say, well, prove to me that the Most High exists. You think that the black man's gonna crack the heavens? Because why? It's an intangible, basically you gotta be spiritual. You can't be a bitch, a feline, a feminine creature. You know, you can't, because a woman is what? Sensual. She wants things that she could touch, that she can see with her eyes, taste with her tongue. She deal with the senses, man. She ain't got the third eye, so to speak, or that spiritual eye to wait for something, man. Y'all know women are very impatient, man. You know? The man's not supposed to be that way, so we gotta be patient, because we gonna get the things that we waiting for. This ain't no fantasy world, man. Okay? Of a kingdom where righteousness is, the so-called black man being established back under his true identity, so-called Latin man, so-called Native American Indian men established under their true identities that they're Israelites. That's not a fantasy, man. Okay, we're gonna be righteous with each other. We're gonna worry about brothers killing each other, not knowing who they are, bugged out on drugs, and we ain't gotta worry about that no more, man. That's what the kingdom, that's what we pushing towards, man. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord, Yahweh Shai, shall raise up us also by Yahweh Shai, and shall present us with you, which that's what the Lord is doing. He's raising up his prophets, his teachers. Okay? It says, for all things are for your sakes. Even when we do these shows, everything is for the sake of what? The elect. Not the, yeah, you got niggas, scoffers, whatever. At the end of the day, we do these things for the elect, to feed you brothers. That the abundant grace might, through the thanksgiving of many, redound to the glory of the Most High, for which cause we faint not. Meaning what? We don't stop, you know, like the Rick. Nah, man, we at the finish line, man. So we digging in even deeper, man, trying to plow through that damn finish line, man. We faint not, man. And through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, we ain't gonna stop. And you brothers, you shouldn't stop, man. That's why we said, if anything, you should increase, man. You should get more locked down, you know, hey, get locked down into this word, man. What else is there, man? At 2016, everything else is bullshit, man. You know, and I make this statement a lot, and I mean it. If it wasn't for this truth, I wouldn't want to be alive here, man. And I'm sure a lot more of you brothers feel that same way. If it wasn't for this truth, that's the only thing that made me want to still want to be alive or whatever. Because of this truth. All right, if that was the case, I've been wanting to die, been dead a long time ago. I never wanted to be in this fucking world. You know, and I'm sure a lot of you brothers felt that way. But this truth is what keeps me going, man. That hope, okay? So, you know, hey, Barak Yahweh Shai. That hope that I'm gonna finally see the fall of this devil. I'm gonna see the end. Here it is, he done did all this wickedness, man. All right, which we can go on and on, from slavery to the day, from the poisoning of the water to the, you know, all the other diseases he put on us, shooting us in the streets, everything. We're going through all of that, man. Finally gonna action. That's my hope, man. To see the end of this king. What's wrong with that, man? You know? It says, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Each day that you're in this truth, meaning that you submerge into these scriptures, your inward man, your spirit, right, that's inside of you, all right, because this is just the outward man, this body is just a house, all right, but your inward man is renewed day by day, meaning in other words, you get stronger, it's refreshed day by day. It says, for a light affliction, which is but for a moment, really, because all this thing is just for a moment. It's going to be like a bad dream that you woke up from, man. You know? It's going to be a bad dream that you woke up from, which is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So whatever you're going through can't be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed when Yahweh Shai comes and delivers his elect. And hopefully we be of his elect. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, all right, which is physical, right? You see all this bullshit. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. Again, going back to the kingdom of heaven. Us ruling, Esau being in subjection, a slave, our women being righteous, being in order, all right? It says, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen, which is the things in this system that we set up in America, right? Everything that's involved in the system. It says, for the things that are seen are temporal. Everything we see physically with our eyes is temporary. All right, that's why you shouldn't be trusting in, you know, the system, trusting in voting, the so-called white man, the American mentality, going out to your job, your car. Okay, you ain't supposed to be trusting that because it's temporary. It says, but the things which are not seen, what things are not seen? Is what? Things such as basically the kingdom of heaven. Everything that is entailed in the kingdom of heaven. The things that are not seen are eternal. Eternal means what? Lasts forever. So that's what it's all about. So that's where our hope is in the kingdom of heaven. So again, that's just another precept I want to add on to that other lesson. And again, as always, hopefully brothers are edified. And we got to do these lessons as well too. You know, we got to bring these lessons to let you brothers know that we got something to look forward to, man. You know, we ain't gonna always be pushed in, you know, rejected, chopped down, put in the corners, living in the ghettos around, you know, wicked, bugged out. We ain't gonna always be like that, man. Brighter days are coming to the nation of Israel, and it's gonna start with the elect of Israel. A lot of our people want to die here, but they're gonna be brought back in righteousness because that's the only way to fix them. So really, when a nigga gets killed or slaughtered or whatever, and he wasn't in the truth, that was a good thing for him because he wasn't gonna come up and wake up into the truth. Okay, so that's certain hard-headed niggas, they gotta go that route. But if they're Israelite, they can know that, look, boy, you at some point you will come back in the kingdom. But the Israel, the Most High, the brothers, the elect that's taking heed and waking up to what the Lord is saying, you're gonna be translated right into the kingdom of the Most High. The scriptures tell you that, man. All right? You're gonna go right into the kingdom, man. And that's where our hope is at, and that's what we fight for. So with that, hope you brothers are edified, and I say shalom.